Good Tuesday morning. Thank you for joining us here on News 12 Connecticut. I'm Heather Kovar.
Paper or plastic? Which do you prefer for a summer read?
For example, a skill building drill American style is linear, usually one-on-one. Speaking of World Cup, I asked on Facebook what's bugging viewers to use in this piece. One response was wrong lingo, pointing out people keep saying score instead of goal. Also, 1-1 isn't a tie. It's a draw. We've been keeping you up to date on breaking news this morning.
All of these puppies are looking for a good home. They're rescue dogs who just arrived in Connecticut from Georgia over the weekend. I'm Heather Kovar with more on the largest adoption event ever held in Connecticut.
We are suiting up for a lesson here at Greenwich Polo Club. I'm Heather Kovar. You too can play. I'll explain right here on News 12 Connecticut. Thank you for joining us here on News 12 Connecticut. I'm Heather Kovar. In 12 on Crime, police say a group of teens from Chapin Point and Stamford may be responsible for a rash of car break-ins in their own neighborhood. News 12 Connecticut's Paul P. has your hyper-local forecast in less than 4 minutes. I'm not sure if he was in his skivvies or what he was wearing, but looks good there. All right, Paul P.
Why do we go from that to me,
Because, you know, when you get to wear only your underwear, you look just as hot.
Can you meet? Oh, shucks. Can you imagine me on a big mural on a wall, only in my undies?
And a massive die-off of frogs at a pond near a local condo complex has residents wondering what's in their water. Residents of the Rolling Ridge condominium on Aiken Street in Norwalk say thousands of dead frogs are littering their complex. Take a look at this. They're concerned there may be sewage in the pond or that something was stirred up when the pond was recently dredged. News 12 Connecticut's called the City Health Department and we're waiting for a response. Time now for 12 on the Money. The Boston Globe's largest union has voted to approve a new contract that would give the struggling newspaper $10 million in concessions. The newspaper reported that the Boston Newspaper Guild voted 366 to 179 to accept. If you are covered by Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Connecticut, brace yourself. Your rates could rise as much as 32%. He probably had to lift his helmet right there to take a bite. Slices were handed out yesterday to visitors at the Kennedy Space Center in Florida. And so I was trying to figure out, there's another name for moon pies around here, but no one can seem to remember it. So let me thank some viewers for emailing and calling in. We were asking what a moon pie is also known as here. It's a scooter pie. So thank you all for emailing that in. You know, it says that you can really only get scooter pies. It's kind of a knockoff of the moon pie here in the north. And oh, and by the way, in looking it up, in Canada and UK, it's called the wagon wheel. Who knew?
Who knew? Now we know.
Now we know. Now we're craving one. When musicians sit down to write a song, you have to wonder, do they plan to have a chorus of la la la's and da da do's, or do they just run out of things to say? What does law mean anyway? It's just a note to follow so.
It's such a bad, cheap fill-in.
James Norkowich is a musician who works with charities across southwestern Connecticut. He DJs a weekly web radio show, performs live, plus plays every Sunday at the Covenant Church of Easton. His love for music makes him a critic when it comes to what he calls filler.
I don't know what I'm doing, so I think I'll sing the song.
Yet he says musicians know what they're doing. Common rhythm or redundant word can sell.
Gets them in the door. It sells the album. It makes it identifiable with the song. And that is what ends up being the hook. The Crash Test Dummies with did that.
But what's really annoying is when one of your favorite artists throws in a la la la.
You go, man, why did they record that?
Even Elton John threw in the law in Crocodile Rock.
It was like, la, 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 la.
But like it or not, you know that is when you find yourself singing along. And be sure to tell me what you want to get off your mind. Send an email bugging you at news12.com. Heather Kovar, News 12 Connecticut. During what seemed like an endless winter and rainy March, so many people were saying, I can't wait for summer. It's here, but hasn't been that easy either.
It's been kind of intense.
Summer began last week, but in about 80 hours, a tornado hits Bridgeport. 4 days later, a thunderstorm.
As soon as the rain came down hard, the ceiling came right in,
doing more damage. To top it off,
it's been hot.
When you add the humidity to it, that's when it really kind of gets uncomfortable.
We've hit 90 degrees at least 3 days in the last week.
Morning weatherman Paul Pior did the math on the severe weather we've been having since this past winter.
In December, southwestern Connecticut had more than 13 inches of snow. The normal is just under 5 inches. In January, we had 8 inches of snow. That's about an inch below normal. But in February, 17 inches of snow, 2 times the monthly average. In March, just a trace of snow, but that's because it was the wettest March on record with 10 inches of rain. This gauge holds 6 inches. That's how many inches above normal we were for the month of March.
Paul says the 2 nor'easters that month are responsible for much of the rain, the first dumping 3 inches, the second 4. This recent weather has some wondering, what happened to our 4 seasons?
Now we kind of have 2. We have cold and we have hot. I miss spring and I miss fall.
And be sure to tell me what's on your mind. Send an email bugging you at news12.com. Heather Kovar, News 12 Connecticut.